I'm going to build 20 static image ads for $1 billion company in 20 minutes, live on camera without opening Canva or Photoshop once. As of speaking right now, my ads spend around $3 million a month, and most of the ads scaling right now aren't super polished. They look a bit ugly, a little bit off, and to be honest, very real and authentic. And the reason these work well is because they don't look like traditional ads. So Meta's algorithm doesn't treat them like ads as much. And the benefit is we move with speed. If you're still waiting weeks and weeks for some static ads, honestly, you're cooked. Our clients, the brands that you're competing with, they're testing 20 static ads in the time that it takes you to test 5. So by the time that this timer hits 0, I'll walk you through the 3-step repeatable process that you can follow to replicate us making static ads with AI, and I'm not going to hold anything back. And I'll do this all live on camera, starting with the brief. So most brands open Nano Banana, they'll type in there something like make me a grunge ad, and then they'll wonder why they get a stock image of a supplement and it doesn't convert. The reason is because they've skipped the brief. Every batch that we ever make starts with the brief and the research and the strategy. And a brief has 4 main things. Really who the customer is, the angle the batch is built around, the visual direction, and a bank of hooks that we can pull lines from. If you can get these 4 right, then all the images will be cohesive and they'll be built around the same campaign with the same objective, and you'll actually start getting results with your ads. And obviously you want to be doing a lot of research when you come up with these 4, but because we're in the world of AI at the minute, Claude can definitely give us all 4, which for this video is definitely worth it just to show you how we do that. But you should definitely be doing your manual research, and we've got lots of videos on how to actually do this research as well. The real thing is, if we're using Claude to do this, we've got to give it the right context. I'll walk you through that now. So guys, since we're making ads for Grunts today, what we've got is I've got about 30 Amazon reviews, and then we've also got a couple of screenshots of static ads, and we've got 3 transcripts that make up 5 ads in total. And then we've also chosen the 2 landing pages that these ads run to, and we're putting those into Claude. Now you want to give it much more context than this. If you're actually doing ads, you really need to take your time to dissect that and like more reviews and as much as possible, and get really specific with it. Now for the actual Claude, we've got my Meta times Claude viral creative script prompt vault. Now, I'll put a link to this in the description so you can actually get access to this. But at the bottom here, you can see the static ads, angles, and headline prompt. We're going to be copy and pasting this here and adding it into Claude. So we've got the full prompt, and then we've also got all the context there below. So let's put that in and see what we actually get. So initially it started by just giving me 3 main concepts, but what I want to change it to is to spit out the 20 and to actually break down everything by angle as well. Now, I actually like all these 3 initially. So it says my doctor couldn't explain my blood work, poop daily in 30 days or free, which I actually think is a pretty good one. And then green powder is punishing your gut. And then it's also broken down the creative tracker name convention, which I really like. This one is GLP-1 for the persona, blood work for like the angle, benefit extreme, static, solution aware, transformation, result. So it's broken down each of the main parts there. So now I'll break it down because this is just done 3, but I'm just going to say I want 17 more so we can get the full 20. Okay, so we've got those first 3 concepts, and it's now spat out the remaining 17, breaking down the customer, the core angle, some hook variations, and we will just choose from these. We're not going to generate all of them. Then also for the tracker as well. So this is really good because basically you're in your creative tracker, you're breaking down the name, the angle, and everything like that. Later on, we can reverse engineer it, and we might touch on that a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, we've got our main concept here with also visual direction, which is really good. I actually like that. The only supplement with a clinical trial receipt. They're very solution aware, as you can see, solution aware, which is good because everyone's trying supplements these days. The reason that I say solution aware is always good. It's usually the lowest hanging fruit in a lot of people's ad accounts, depending on the scale and what you've tested so far. You're not trying to convince people that they've got a problem. You're not trying to convince people even on that specific solution. You're just trying to convince people that your solution is better than the other ones that they've tried, the other ones that they're considering. So usually it's the easiest, lowest hanging fruit where the most audience are, but also a lot of scale is in there as well. So now we've got kind of the briefs there because we've got the real concepts, we've got the visual direction, we've got the angles, we've got headlines. Now we can go on to actually building it, which is the batch. So before I actually go to Nano Banana, I'm going to create a prompt. This day and age, you don't need to be creating prompts yourself. So all I've done is I've gone to Grun's website or a landing page of theirs, put this prompt in, pasted the picture of the product and put create a base Nano Banana prompt, include brand colors, photography style, text overlay style. Basically just, I want a prompt that I can use every time for this specific image. I'm going to upload a photo of the image as well, but we just want to get it accurate as possible, and then we can send that in there and get a prompt that we can actually use in Nano Banana. So before I actually go to Nano Banana, I'm just uploaded a picture of a grunz packet to Claude. So I'm just putting a prompt in Claude so I can accurately use a description of this product picture that I can generate every single time in Nano Banana 2. Instead of just writing the prompt myself, it's much more accurate to use AI to write prompts for you as well. Here we go. So it's actually given us the hex numbers, which is what I wanted. That's really good, because what I can do is I can put this picture of the product in, but I can also put this prompt in as well. So now I'm in Nano Banana 2. I can take this image, I can put this in as well, and put product description. And then I can also go ahead and start putting my prompts in for the actual static ad. So first of all, let's just try this first one. And what we'll do is, it's called concept 4. We'll put it into Gemini and we're going to choose one headline. We're not going to change anything else. So we've got the concept here. We've got the core angle. There is actually some good headlines. I'm just going to go with either the first or second one. GLP-1 handles appetite. Grunz handles everything else. And let's see if it can get it. Sometimes we also attach example static ads. I think that's a really good way to go about it, because you can basically swap out a static ad that you'd like, get AI to generate that, put your product photo in, put your copy in, and change it around a little bit. That works really well. For this example, we're going to try and generate it from actually scratch. So let's see how this performs. That's really not too bad as a first try. I mean, I think we'd want to give more direction on a CTA. But to be honest, you could probably run that as an ad. You know, you don't need to get perfection. As I said, a lot of these ads can look ugly. They're not the most prettiest, well designed, but they perform well. And this one I'd be willing to test for sure. For that one, you would need a product photo shoot inside a kitchen, but it's not super hard. Now for concept 5, it's a little bit more difficult. You know, grunz pack surrounded by crossed out vegetables, broccoli, kale, spinach, with a big green check mark over the gummies. So let's see if it can pull this one off. And again, we can take the easy route. I'm definitely going to show you how we can do it with example statics. Much easier to do, to be honest. But this way, it's also kind of generating it from scratch, which is also fun to do. So here we are, we've got this angle. So yes, here we are, we've got the core angle, which is basically permission to hate greens and still be healthy. This is for the 28 to 38-year-old woman who genuinely hates vegetables, which I think is pretty funny. For the people who never eat kale ever, the vegetable you'll actually finish. 60 ingredients, 0 texture, 0 excuses. Broccoli in gummy form, but tastes like strawberry candy. You're welcome. Your nutritionist said eat more greens. We found a loophole. So I think, to be honest, these are all interesting hooks that I would like to test. Let's see which one we could actually go for here. It's between these two. The vegetable you'll actually finished. Since this is targeting people who hate greens, they genuinely don't like greens, they've tried powder before, I think the one that kind of aligns both with the angle and the visuals is this: 60 ingredients, 0 texture, 0 excuses, kind of covers all bases. Now, let's see if you can actually pull this off. Okay, nice. And again, this is looking ugly. I like it. It's looking kind of very authentic. And we do also need to add into the description that we need the 9x16 or whatever size you need, 1x1, which is completely fine. Now we're going to touch this up later. This isn't perfect, but we'll get back to it to make sure that these are up to scratch before going in the ad account. Now for the next one, we've got a 25 to 45-year-old woman that's got bloating, unsure why, and they want to kind of nail it down to, okay, it's because of fiber deficiency. But then let's just go for this first one because it's before and after, bloat for no reason, there's a reason. And again, let's keep generating these without any reference images and see how far it can get. Because before, without a reference image, there's no point actually doing it. Let's do it like this and kind of give it directions via just words. And then for the last one, we'll give it some visual direction as well. Now, I actually really like this one because it's got that cartoon feel. And now this cartoon style has been working pretty well for us recently. And you can see it's got the before and after. It's actually got a little problem there. But yeah, we can fix this, sharpen this up a little bit now. So I found an example static ad. I've put that into Claude and I'm saying, which concept would work well for this? Okay, now that's actually kind of pretty good. I mean, it's not the best. Again, getting the humans in there isn't working too well, but you know, we could work with this, and you can see this one is probably my favorite. This one's okay. This one would be run as well. That'd be pretty good. But again, it takes a lot of back and forth with, and we're also going to show you how to do it with an example reference image because that's very easy with AI now as well. All right, concept 7 is the one. Now, did we run concept 7 yet? Yes, we did, but let's do it again. So what we'll say is create this concept for grunz. I'm going to add a reference static for inspo, but you should recreate it in grunt style. Now you can see I'm really not, taking time with this, with these actual prompts. We'll go with that one and we will paste this static in. So you can see here, we've basically put in an example image, the concept from Claude, and then said, okay, here's a reference image. This is literally just for visual direction. Don't copy exactly what it says. Don't copy that product. Don't just copy it one for one. We want you to kind of use this and run with it for our specific angle and product. And there we are, it's generated that. And the images actually, I mean, it looks great. Like usually you'd have to do a photo shoot. You'd actually have to, spend a lot of time designing this and actually like preparing all of this to get it added to the image. Now, boom, we've just created that straight in there. Now the copy could obviously be improved a little bit. Did you know, bloat for no reason? There's a reason. I mean, you could probably test it, but you can probably tweak it a little bit as well. And you can really go one or two ways. You can have them super authentic and ugly like I mentioned earlier, or you can go a little bit more polished and add some kind of stickers on there, some CTAs. I think both are worth testing depending on your audience. You'll notice here that the outputs aren't perfect. One has text that isn't spelt correctly. One had packaging that was just completely wrong. One looks like it was just made in Canva by someone who isn't a designer at all. But the thing is, we've just got 20 that are 70% of the way there in less than 20 minutes. And I'd rather have that than 5, but 2 weeks. So we're not trying to get one ad completely perfect here. And now we can actually build from that. Okay, we can fix that little bit of misspelling, and we've got some others that we can try and kind of touch up a little bit. We're already halfway there. And to be honest, we've been having these native style ads perform really well recently. Now I'll show you what I mean by a native style ad. I'm showing you one on screen right now. This wasn't our ad. You see the foot in the corner. I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it, but this wasn't our actual ad. This is from someone we were just looking at in the ad library and for inspiration. These native style ads have genuinely been swooping up a lot of traffic for us. Literally no text, obviously primary text inside of meta ads where you're kind of running through kind of key objections, the offer, if you have a guarantee, calling out a pain point. And that's why something really quite basic can actually perform better. Two main rules on static ads really. If the hook doesn't match the visual, obviously you're never going to run it. Obviously it's not going to work very well, but we see it happen quite a lot across clients when they're putting headlines with images that just don't kind of correlate at all. And then second, if there's anything that makes it super obvious that it's AI, multiple fingers, there's a huge misspelling, the product is wrong, then obviously we're not going to be running that ad at all, because you can kind of fix that one line at a time. Now the one that I've got the most excitement about is definitely this one. The easiest way to fix this would be to go into Canva, select over here and paste it over these text parts, and then rewrite each part with actual text. So it looks unified, and then you can fix this spelling mistake right here. Now I think the graphic's really good. We can try and fix it with the prompt, and let's see if it can actually fix that. So I literally just said perfect, but there's a spelling mistake, and it says stress lightning. Now there's also text missing there, so you could prompt it to add that in as well. Quite easy with Nano Banana 2 now, just speak to it and go back and forth. But if you're ever needing some really detailed prompt, generate the prompt in Claude, then go ahead and copy and paste it over to Nano Banana 2 as well. That's 20 minutes of work for a full month of static testing that you can go ahead and implement today. The thing is, these tools are going to always keep changing. What makes this actually work is the work that you put in between each step. The brief comes first, so every single image that you generate is actually tied to an awareness level, an angle, and an actual persona that you're targeting. When you batch, that's where the volume comes in, and you're not going for perfection, you're just going for volume before you actually break it down into high quality ads that you can actually test. Obviously, when you're deciding which ones you like, which ones you don't like, that's where your knowledge of what's going to perform in the ad account comes in, and the cut obviously comes last. Well, that's where the value really is, when you're deciding, okay, which ads should I actually use, which ads shouldn't I use, and how can we actually tweak these to make sure they have the highest chance of performing inside the ad account. Now, a lot of brands using AI do this, but in the reverse step. They generate first, they throw them into the ad account, barely cutting anything, and then they try to reverse engineer the briefs once they're actually launched, trying to figure out, okay, why did this ad work after they've worked, so you don't have the building blocks to actually build from it. Now you've got 20 static ads, and I guarantee if you go ahead and you test these 20 static ads that we've made, the ones that perform will not be the ones that you thought would perform. It'll be the one that's looking slightly wrong, or the one with a slight error, or the one that you just launched and you thought, I'll launch it but it's not going to work. That will be the one that actually scales, and it happens all the time in our ad accounts. The ads that you don't think will perform actually do. And once it's actually live, everything that happens after this point obviously depends what's actually in the batch, the naming convention, your campaign structure, how you test this against the ads that you already have running. And to be honest, that's a full video on its own. You can check that out here. And if you're spending more than 30k per month on meta ads and you want my team to build this system out inside your ad account, the link in the description is how you book a free call. We'll audit your current ad account, map out what angles you're missing, and then create a plan for you to reach that next level. I'll see you in the next one.